Hey guys, it's Diana, and here we meet again Thursday night, and tonight we're going to do something kind of interesting. You know, last year I had an accident. A car went through my house. I know, hard to believe. Turns out I watched the news, and it's been since it happened 2 years ago, it must have been 20 cars that went through one thing or another, a shopping plaza, So anyways, make a long story short, I lost a few paintings. It hit right in. My granddaughter was in there. She's good though. Right into the basement, right through the porch. But right where I had it stored was a bunch of my paintings. A bunch of my paintings were stored on that porch, and stuff from my paint party classes. Long story short, I have since recovered what I could, and I've been taking pictures of things that I've already got done. And because people would call and I'd say I don't know if I got that. So they had it in storage for over a year while I found a place to live. Bought a beautiful home, mobile home. And anyways, long story short, this was one of the paintings, but it doesn't look really great because it's on copy paper. But I kind of wanted to soup it up anyways. But here it is. Shamrocks and violets. So I'm going to kind of do that again tonight. Little palette knife, little painting. I hadn't had a big plan for today. I hadn't planned on being out all day. I went shopping with my daughter today because I had errands I had to run. And we didn't get up till late because we went to bed talking half the night. She didn't get in till late. So, sometimes when your kids come around, you talk a lot, visit. So we got out late and we did our shopping. I went to Costco and stuff. And so I cleaned this room. I've been cleaning all last 3 days. So I got some things I got to get fixed, like my stove and stuff. So I've been busy cleaning this room too. So I got a lot of stuff out. I found a bunch of stencils for the holidays and for Easter. And I found these too. I'm going to download them to the group. Little coloring pages for the kiddos or for the adults. Cute, huh? So I'm going to take a picture, download them. Oh, have you? Aw, paint tomorrow then. It's all right. Do what you can do. Now, I'm still messing around with my computer, try to get it up. They're having a problem recovering my account, and they're not sure. So I got to go to this one site and see if I can recover. I got hacked a few months ago, but there's 2 other sites. I'm on there, but they're not me. So, anyways, I don't know. So I got to figure that out still. But so I can use either one, but one's a little slow. But Facebook's been having some problems. You guys see a bunch of people were down last couple days, so maybe that has something to do with it too. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I'm just going to do this on some watercolor paper. Hey, Lori. Hey, Tammy. Sorry to hear that, Lori. Those migraines are the worst, boy. I have never had them. I don't really get headaches. I used to get tension headaches when I was younger, but I only had one really bad one, and that's when I was pregnant. So, but I have other issues, but my shoulders are bad, and it's very painful. And I get I have TMJ, I have a crooked mouth. And, yeah, I get pain in my jaw, in my ears. Anyways, I feel for you because it's very painful. I have a daughter who had them. She was 8 years old. I got a call from school saying she passed out and she used to get nosebleeds and everything else from. She was 8 years old. She started getting them. We figured out it was allergies, and seasonal change, all that kind of stuff. But it's very debilitating. I had to give her this drug. It was a liquid she couldn't swallow. It gets so bad. And it would just make her pass out. She didn't like taking it, but sometimes they were so bad, So it's a horrific thing. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get some. I just ordered some new books. I'm liking this one paper I get from Amazon. I really like. I just ordered 2 more. The price is good, but it's 140-pound watercolor paper, and they're great to frame because I put them in the matting frame, sell them. But it's a stiff paper. But it ain't got a lot of them have divots. This one's not too bad. When they're cold pressed, they get these little divots. It just means they press them cold. Whereas if they heat them up and they smooth them out, they're real smooth. So it depends on what you like, but I like this kind. So I've been using this kind like this. Kawaki, something like that. But it's from Amazon. So I just ordered 2 more. I just like it. So I'm going to do it on this paper. And I'm going to pick out some colors. I don't know. I'm going to do a different color purple. I don't think I like this purple that's in here. But like I said, sometimes you make these copies. They're not like, you know, the same as the real painting. But this painting, I'm pretty sure it's gone. Pretty sure it was there. So anyways, I'm going to do it on this paper. And I'm going to pick out some colors. Get the palette knife out. So yeah, I was off lollygagging all day today. We went over to Costco. Ran into an old hairdresser friend of mine. I thought she looked familiar. But they make her wear those nets over her hair. And she was giving out samples. She goes, oh, they're nasty. They're salmon sticks. But I liked them. But I like salmon. They were kind of like those little beef sticks you get, like Slim Jims. But they were salmon. I thought they were good. Yeah, I'm thinking I might have to do it. But this computer, I thought this computer's only a year old. So I don't think it's the computer. I think it's definitely something to do with Facebook. Because I got hacked. They hacked everything. I mean, they hacked everything that was on my phone. My chart, everything. PayPal. I had a problem with them. I had to change passcodes on everything. So whatever this is Facebook related. I go to Best Buy all the time, too. I use the Nerds. I need the Nerds. There's nothing wrong with the computer or any of my devices. I have several. It's something to do with Facebook because I'm on stuff all day. I'm on my PayPal, my Canva, my Constant Contact, my InShot. No problems. It's just this. But on here, I'm fine. It does it on the phone, no problem. YouTube, you know, all of them. Hey, Joe Allen. How now, brown cow? How you doing, JoJo? JoJo supports me. She's always like on here. Give me those extra little monies. I've been doing pretty good with it. I don't know, make $1 million, but you know, $15 from one, 10 from the other, and all I gotta do is have you guys talk to me, talk to each other, say, you know, share, like, all that stuff. I get paid for that now. It's I get monetization. It's a big word. I get monetized. There you go. So anyways, I'm going to pick out some colors. Yep. I might have to go find a geek. If I'm going to go back into the Facebook, they gave me an address. I got a hold of them. And they said they couldn't recover. They had to go over here and look at this and that and the other thing. It's always something, right? Ever since they had hacked, they want to know when it happened. This is when it was hacked. That's when they took care of it the last time. All right, so, you know, all that stuff takes time, you know. I had a problem with, I had to download a bunch of videos to the private group, and one video was hung up for an hour. I worked on it. I got nothing. So later I go look, they had downloaded it into my phone instead of into my, my Google Drive. So I got it. Well, you know, that's all that matters. All right, so I'm going to do some kind of purple. I don't like the purples. I might just do a lighter purple and some kind of green. So I don't download a bunch of stuff into the phone, but I might have because every other day, I get a thing. Do you want this video? Do you want that video? Most of the time I say no because I went ahead and I downloaded everything. Twice a month I go in there and I download all the new videos from here because if you don't, they take it. It's gone. History. Bye. Not yours anymore. So I got this pretty green. This is a Kelly green. And I got this Mystic Teal green, I think. And I got this Purple Rain, Purple Rain, Purple Rain. So I finally got all my paints put away. Now I want some of them back. Oh, here's some right here. From that paint party. Oh, I like this purple too. This is like a shiny purple. I like the slime, but they can be a little transparent. This came from Hobby Lobby. It's called Anita's. So that purple's like got some shinies in it. So then we're going to need some white. I got some white. And I got a black pot. Do I want that all black like that? So like I said, I had a bunch of stuff out here. I got all those, we're going to do some of the stencils and transfers from Essential Stencils. I got the ones we did last year. They're right behind me. I can go get them in a second here. So we're going to do some of those too this week. Yep, it's always something. And I'm going to look around, do some more paint parties, so I can start making some phone calls. That's how I do it. Canvas people. Just want a couple more, and I got that one in April. The company's got some really cute paintings coming out. I'm going to do this one with a bird, and there's a moon one I want to do. They're for paint parties, so. I mean, sometimes I do them on here, but the problem is that they're only really for paint party people or teach classes with and stuff. And I keep everything on my site, stuff that I invented. So in the event that I want to leave the paint party business, because once you leave their business, you can't use their stuff. So that's why I do all my own stuff. Same thing with my private classes. Those are all, I invented them. They're my designs. They're my templates. They're my tracers. So there's a few things I do through that company. I could do something similar, but I won't copy it for online classes. Mostly it's just my stuff, because that way, you know, I can't get, they won't be infringed on them. So, but I've been with them for 5 or 6 years now. So I don't know if they do anything, but they ask that, you know, if you ever leave, not to use their stuff. And they got really cute stuff, but all the stuff's been tested so that you know it's going to be popular. And it's all teachable. So when I teach my stuff, I try to make them teachable. Like we're doing this thing next month. Now I could have made that little fancier, that Irish girl, but I want it so it's teachable. They want to funk it up and make it more fun, they can go ahead, but that's mine. My design. But he's talking without me. I hate to, I know. When I first started doing this, I can't tell you how many times I actually threw my computer. Cry. And I'm not the only one. I'm 68 years old. I had to learn how to do this 6 years ago. I used to have a pay-as-you-go phone, me and my husband. I loved it. Didn't need anything else, you know. But then when I started doing this, you can't. You got to have enough juice, you know. So I had to learn how to use everything. Took a bunch of classes. It's arthritis. It was good for the last 3 or 4 days, and today it's raining. It's raining like a son of a gun. You guys raining? It is raining. I mean, you could hear it. I mean, we were in Costco. You know how big those are? And I could hear the rain. It's arthritis. I might have to get a shot, but it's been real good, my thumb, but now my whole hand. It's arthritis. Oh, yeah? Yeah, we're under flood warning. Hey, Jacqueline. We're under flood warnings, too. I didn't have it on all day. I was wearing the other one. They're a set. And this is the right one for the right side. The other one I flipped it inside out. I got paint all over it. But I didn't put any medicine on it. Sometimes it's too tight, but sometimes it feels a lot better if I get a little pressure on it, you know. So I have an appointment in the end of the month. So we're going to go over to my regular doctor. So I just had, you know, I got a lot of stuff going on. So I got a lot of appointments. So we're going to go over. This is one of the things that's on the list. Yeah, I'm fine. You know what I always tell everybody? If you can't fix old, there ain't no surgery for it. If there is, let me know. Oh, I know. Well, you know what the problem is, too? I was telling my daughter about it. If you don't keep up with the newest technology, you could go 6 months or 3 months. And next thing you know, I go over to Canva. I hadn't been on in a few months, right? Well, I'm on Canva a lot. I'll say my constant contact. I have emails. Most of them are for my paint parties. I haven't been on there in a while. I used to do my emails like every week. I'm going to go back into that. I'm starting to do more now. And I hadn't been in for a few months. And I went in there, they changed everything. I mean, it's very similar. It's just that I don't know where anything is. Same thing with my PayPal. I had to do new PayPal, so I had the people pay me. I send them a link. And they changed a bunch of stuff, so I had to call. This was a few months ago. So technology is moving so fast, you can't keep up. And I have all I can do to do it. So sometimes I have to get a hold of somebody and say, they changed everything again. So PayPal a couple years ago changed your whole format, and they've done it again. It's all AI. They're all messed. So now even I didn't want to, but I'm using it. It's easier. You know, let us do this. I have it on my phone. It's on my, everything has AI, everything. Just ain't going to use it. Well, then you got to get out of the business and get offline because everybody's using, you got to. It's easier for them too. They ain't got to have no phone calls. The AI will tell you what to do. That's what I just did with my the laptop, trying to figure out what to do. They just is sorry, we're going to close this case this time. We got to contact this, and you're going to I'm going to have to take a video of me using my phone. You ever see that meme about we need a picture of the stuff you didn't receive? And the guy took a picture of his porch. There's nothing on it. Well, that's how I kind of feel. Oh, I know, right? But then, you know, I'm a creature of habit. Once I figure out a certain way to do it, we're all like that. I don't want to do it any other way. Now, they're all doing this thing called sublimation. I was thinking about getting another, where they, like, you know how I copy all my stuff onto my canvases, I blow it up? And then I did all those freaking 24 canvases. Well, you got a thing now where you can do it for you. And I'm like, I went and I looked at it, I took a quick course. I'm like, you know, I kind of like the way I'm doing it. Yeah, it takes longer, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay. You know, fine with that. Leave me alone. I'm old. You got a format for old? I'm a creature of habit. You know, I like to try new things and everything, but that's not one of the things I like to try. I think trying new things, I think like the new Whopper or something, you know, that's what I think the new thing is. Yeah, absolutely. I'm putting my greens and my purples on here, and I got yellow in here too. Yellow and purple look so good together. So it's just me. I want a brighter yellow. I'm gonna use this brighter yellow. Yeah, good times. I'll figure it out. I always do. This, but you know, when you get hacked, it's always something like that. I got hacked on my checking account. That was a different hack. That was through PayPal. I never have a problem with PayPal. That was part my fault though, because I bought something. I usually just stick with Amazon, and or you know, like I do Amazon, Shein. I do the antique site, Poshmark. I like old stuff. So it's always the same places. Well, this was something different, and I got hacked. I knew right away I got hacked. I knew seconds later. I got a hold of PayPal. They didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing because they have to wait up to 2 weeks. So they finally did something a couple of days. Then I got a hold of, hey, Lori, thank you. I got a hold of my bank, and they're the one that put the kibosh. Hey, what are you doing to me? What are you doing? That's funny. Do it again. So, anyways, yeah. So they figured that out for me. My bank, I was in my bank 27 years. Figure it out. Thank you, Lori. That's funny. It gave me a nose in isn't that funny? That's cute as hell. All right, so I think I'm gonna sketch in a little bit just to kind of. Yeah, so I was just out lollygagging today. Then we went over to, they were having a sale at Price Chopper, and you know I love my Pepsi Zero. I didn't drink Pepsi for like 20 years. I've lost 55 pounds. Maybe 56. I'm not sure. I didn't check today. So, I love my Pepsi Zero. I'm a big Pepsi drinker. But I drank it for like 20 years. I was always dieting, right? And I don't like Diet Pepsi. I hate it with a passion. And I used to drink Diet Fago, but they don't make that anymore. At least we can't get it here, not the diet one. So, anyways, I started drinking Pepsi Zero. Oh, it's so good, guys. But they had 24 packs. Buy a whole 24 pack, get a whole 24 pack free. So I had to go over there. Then I drink that Bay. If you guys know, I think it's kind of new in the market, but maybe it's stevia. It's kind of like a electrolyte drink, but the coconut is so good. I don't like coconut drinks. So I went over, they went up, priced about 4 of them. Then they had my pops. I do have a popsicle every night. Well, it's all 100% fruit. You know, it's nothing low calorie. Outshine bars. I love the grape. So I have one of those every night before I go to bed. That's my treat, my big treat for the day. So that's what we went over and got. They had none of that at Costco. Yeah, so I couldn't get that at Costco. So we went over there. So that took up most of the day because we didn't get into it till late. All right, so I got my pencil. I'm going to turn this around. I know. Was that a bunny? I thought it was a little piggy. Is it a bunny? I like a little piggy. Oh my God, we have more fun in here, right? We really do. Oh, all right, turn this around. It's so funny. All right, so I'm gonna kind of like just sketch this in. I got something else on this other side of this, so I'm just gonna leave that on there. Okay. I just want to do a little sketchy sketch. Nobody's been on here before. You see we're all horsing around, but I am a self-taught artist. Mostly newbies and people who want to know more. I try to inspire you, give you some confidence, just help you generally. And like I said, I'm self-taught, so I've been doing art for 40 years. I've been doing paint parties 10. I've been on here almost 6 years. I think in May is 6 years. I gotta go look. It should be right on my profile. Somebody wants to go look. But you know, I love teaching. I found that out when I went to Painting with the Twist and I started teaching, so I still do them. I just got back into it. I was sick last year, so I'm feeling better. So, you know, if you guys want to try some different stuff and you want to learn about not just acrylic, mostly what I do, and you want to try things like painting rocks and doing watercolor and just ATC, we do artist trading cards. I have a little group in a chat group in my group. And just some fun stuff and meet a great group of girls and just learn new things. I'm on twice a week, every week, same time, 7 o'clock. Sometimes I sneak on early on Thursdays and 4 o'clock on Saturdays in the Artsy Rose group. Let me see if I can get it up here for you. I'll put it up for you right here. Come on over 4 o'clock on Saturdays. And if you can't watch it at that time, you know you can always rewatch. Just put hashtag rewatch. And remember, the videos are only good for 30 days. Facebook started a new rule like last February. What a conundrum that was. I'm the only one I think I know who does 3 a week. So I had like a lot of videos to move, probably close to 400. And there's like 100, and I just put 6 more on. There's like 150 something videos that are public. The rest are private. And if you want to go over to YouTube, it's Diana Myers at the Artsy Rose with an S. The other group is with a Z, Artsy. And or you could just go Diana Myers at 899. That's YouTube. And you can watch all of them and binge watch me if you want. I guess people binge watch me. I found out her girlfriend watches me with she watches older people, and they sit there and they watch me do paint classes. I think it's hysterical. Yeah, so you guys, yeah, I'm gonna turn this around to start painting. But so I'm a self-taught artist. I've been where you are. I know what you're going through. I understand the frustrations and the trials and how you feel. You can't even call yourself an artist, the whole 9 yards. I get it. And I teach all that stuff. In fact, we're going to be doing a little, I found another really cool article. I'm going to read to you guys. I do readings on Saturday. We're going to do that. And I think we're going to do some stencils Saturday. All right, so let me just I'm just going to kind of roughly just put in a little bit of a, drawing is so important, guys. I mean, I know I'm not the world's greatest drawer. It comes from just being a doodler. But knowing some basic drawing concept will take you a long way, because it's like if you like doing tracers, well, if you learn how to sketch, you don't need a tracer. So, and I just kind of sketched in some of these Shamrocks. It's that time of the year. You know, I'm half Irish. Believe it or not, I am half Irish. I look more English, so I guess. I look more, my dad, maiden name was Holmes. My mother's name was Gielan, and her mother was King. Her father was Gielan, so she was Gielan, which is about as Irish as you can get. She was a redhead. I'm not a natural redhead. I have 3 redheaded brothers and 1 redheaded sister. So this is not the final thing. I'm just kind of getting an idea of my composition, or what I call setting up my front room. And then I put, I'm famous for my windows and my pots. I do a lot of windows and pots. I don't know why, I just like them. One of my favorite artists, this is kind of some of the stuff that she did, so that Van Wyck. So yeah, so we got ourselves a little window here. Yeah, this one's got to be over a little bit. So I got kind of just the basics in here. You ain't got to have a perfect sketch. Just you could do this with a paintbrush too, just kind of setting up your painting. You know, kind of making sure everything looks good. You know, and you know the way you feel it should look, and then you kind of start from there. And then you can start putting in what I call blocking in your color. That means just get it all on there, get the biggest brush you can, and get the color in. If you spend too much time on the details at first, when you go to put them in later, you'll be very confused. You get in, you just get your colors in, set up the way you want your color and your light, and then you can start adding your shading, and then the last step would be your highlighting. That's just the way I teach it, and I think that most artists, no matter where you're from, would teach it that way. So I did purple in the windows, which I think actually was kind of a good thing. So let's go right ahead and shade in some purple into that window. I told you I get this pretty, like, it's called amethyst. It's a purple. It's like, you can see, it's like shiny. But that's Anita's, it's called Anita's All Purpose. It's from the Hobby Lobby. A touch of white. I'm going to go right in here and start adding into my windows. Yeah, so it was a fun day. We had a lot of fun. I love my other daughters, but me and her are so good at harassing each other. We have a lot of fun. I don't know why, we just do. Jackie's a fun person anyway, so hard. Did you guys see that painting sheet? I think I showed you last week that she did. I think put it away. That she did. She always tells me she can't paint. That painting came out really good for some of you who can't paint. It seems like the ones that always say I can't paint and have the best paintings at the end of the night. Well, there's other ones you can tell that they're experienced, but sometimes the ones that are like crying, I can't draw a stick figure. They're the ones that are like usually not too shabby. You're like, hey, I thought you couldn't draw, you know. Well, we all beat ourselves up though anyways, you know, no matter what we do, be it or cooking or we kids just can't shut up. I remember years ago, my mother says, you know, classy people don't like when you ask them, well, I don't do it, but when you ask them, when they say to them, you look beautiful or you look nice, you're supposed to say thank you. But not me. No, I only paid $4 for this. You know, I got this at the Goodwill. Look at this. Wow. You know that you're supposed to say, classy people are supposed to say, thank you, like that, you know. But we just got to beat ourselves up to say, I wonder why she said that. You know, we got to analyze. At least I do. I analyze everything. Not so much anymore because I'm 68 and I don't care. Yeah, not like when I was younger. I like how's that saying go? I used to think I was fat. You know, I used to just think I was fat. So okay, I look so fat. I think so. Now I go back and I look at these pictures. And I'm like, why did I think I was fat? I looked gorgeous. I was so self-conscious, so shy. I was shy, guys. You believe it? I was shy. I was shy. So let me just get some background in here. Isn't that funny? It's so true. I was stunning. So shy. Thought everybody was looking at me. Nobody cared about me. Just me. We all do it. Same thing with my paintings. It took me a long time to learn how to say it. I'm an artist. As far as I'm concerned, like I tell you guys, if you come here and you're willing to learn stuff and you're doing paintings, guess what? You're an artist. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, you're an artist. It's true. Yep. So I got some windows in there. I'm just going to pick up with my dirty brush. I got a flat brush. And I'm just going to start pushing in some white with the purple. It's okay because I'm going to fix that up later. I'm going to bring the flowers over the top of these windows so they kind of, the background needs to go in first because the flowers will overlap into the window. Yeah. This has like a windowsill down here, like a table, I guess. Put that in. Is it raining where you guys? We're supposed to rain all week. They're talking flood night. Joelle says she's raining. Are you guys raining too? We are raining, boy. I can like hear it. You can hear it or not, but it's raining. Beats the snow. We still got snow banks. Finally can see the grass. Like, there's the lawn. I was beginning to wonder. unseasonably warm though. It's going to be up to 60 by Saturday, but I think that's like not going to have any sun until Sunday. I think it's going to be 60, but it's going to be rainy and murky, and I don't even care as long as it's not snowing. It gets like that. You feel like you're in fear for your life to leave the house because it's so bad out. So I'm just kind of giving this a rough chop and getting this color in here. Now really it's going to need a little gray and some green probably, so I'm going to pick up just a tad of some kind of gray or black. I got this Night Sky. It's a gray. I'm going to use that a little bit just to kind of dull that white down a little bit. Oops, yeah, mix up. Yeah, something was going on with Facebook this week too, because half the nation couldn't use their Facebook, and oh, that's not good. Not a lot of people are not really on Facebook. Like I am on Instagram, and I'm on YouTube now a lot because I'm messing around with the site. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. We'll get some black heck with it. So I been going over there. I get a couple more quick videos. You know what they call shorts? They're called over there. Here they're called reels. Over there they're called shorts. So I've been messing with that too. Just trying to get my page numbers up. I had one that did, oh my God. What was it, Stacy? What was it, Lori? It was a lot for me. One of my videos, that Wicker Heart, went over 1K, like in like a couple hours. It's really, really good. I think I get paid for that once I have enough people on there. I'd actually get paid for that. So, I very rarely have any videos on here that go over 100. 100 is usually about right for me. Don't know why, just the way it is. I don't know. Of course, you know, I think people that do like cooking shows and that kind of stuff, they get more views. People love their food. All right, so now we got this, and then I can make a little, I want it for the windows. That seems like a bit much. Let me get a paper towel. Yeah, I think that cooking shows get a lot. If you ever notice how much they get like a lot. This, that's a little bit too. That's a little bit too. There you go. All right, so now let's get our pot in. We'll do some palette knifing once I get everything in. It's just a black pot. I'm gonna. They ain't gotta be exactly like it, just kind of like it. I'll get and talk to you guys in a minute. Turn this around. There. Yeah, it's a good size. It's a good size pot. I'm just going to block it all in with my big brush. And I can really see this right here. Not really. And then I am going to take some black and make some little arms. Shoot. Close enough. We're going to get some highlights on it, but not right this second. So we got a good start, right? It is. I am famous for beating the crap out of myself right into an anxiety attack. I am the queen of that. But you know, I think I've read, you know, a lot of that stuff. I have daughters in perimenopause and one's in menopause. And this is very common with women in that age because our body is like all over the place between growing hair and night sweats and not sleeping. I don't do any of that. Not so much. I don't. And they're all going through that. And the anxiety is, I read somewhere that they should just give women tranquilizers as soon as they get it. Because they weren't giving us nothing. My mother was on hormones. And she was good. They put me on it for like 2 weeks because I was having pains. I had cysts. And they never put me, let me tell you something, best 2 weeks of my life. But I was afraid of taking it. You know, now it's no big thing. But if you did, you didn't tell anybody either. That was another thing. So I wish I had been on it because let me tell you something, I went through hell. So anxiety is a big part of it. The not sleeping and all that. Life too. Life right now. If you're not feeling something the way the things are going right now, you're like, you're not well. Because the world is screwed up right now. You know what? And all the thoughts that we have is, you know, it's tough. I think more so. I think a lot of women, especially artists, don't we have more empathy? You know, so we tend to be, we have all these feelings, you know, and there's a lot of people in this world that don't, you know, so not as in tune. So, and artists are definitely very empathetic. So, all right. So now, I think I'm just going to take some green to start kind of blocking in the Shamrocks first, and then the rest of it I think I can do with a palette knife. So I just get the big stuff in first. Turn this around. Yep. Just, I like doing it with this. You can just, this is actually a watercolor brush, but I'm going to use it. You know a watercolor brush because they have very soft hair. They're usually, oil and watercolor brushes are usually they hold a lot more liquid. So they're very soft. They're usually mohair or some kind of, well, some of them I have are not real. They're, you know, some kind of synthetic they've made really soft. But I love watercolor brushes. It's just a cheap one. My daughter's coming down, stay with me 4 days for St. Patrick's Day. They're going to do the parade. I said, I don't think I can do it, but her and her friends will go. And I'll make, you know, Irish soda bread, and we'll do the big dinner. I'll cook everything up. We'll have a big dinner next weekend. Big thing here in Syracuse. It really is. Yeah. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day, don't you know? Yeah, little towns. Everybody's serving corned beef, and there's all kinds of corned beef dinners everywhere at all the local pubs and VFWs. They all have big corned beef dinners, and yeah, got Irish Scottish dancers all over doing all kinds of stuff, and just, yeah, it's a big thing up here. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's a good. Yeah, my grandmother was actually from Canada, but they were like first generation that settled over there in Prince Edward Island. The first, I think, one of the first potato famines. Then my grandfather came over later. His family, he was pretty much raised here in Brooklyn, but they're all Irish communities. You know, they kind of were prejudiced at the time, so they all kind of stuck together. That and the Jewish, that's where the corned beef came from, because in their country, they don't have cows, or very few, so they ate lamb. So my grandmother hated lamb, but they got to know over in New York, they got to know all the Jewish poor people, and they started seeing how cheap the beef was here in the States, since we have a lot of land, a lot of cows, so they started, you know, using beef, corning the beef up. And that's where corned beef and carrots came from. But originally, my grandmother always did ham. Ham, you know, potatoes, onions, and cabbage. So that's what I grew up on. I didn't have corned beef ham until I got married, because that's what everybody was eating, but that's what we had, you know, and parsnips, you know. That's a big Irish thing, too, and turnips. So, I never had one until after I got married. Isn't that interesting? So that's where that came from. They were neighbors in New York City. A lot of the immigrants are Polish. All them people came at the same time, you know. I know, I love it. Well, I also do Reubens on the side. I get some sauerkraut and stuff. I make a big old meal out of it. And I do my Irish soda bread too, so it'd be fun. I can't even think about it. I'll be so full. I don't eat like I used to because I'm, you know, dieting. And I'm not used to eating that much. The other night I ate so much. Oh my God. I thought I was going to die. I'm so sick. What do they call that? What did we have the other night? Oh, all I had was I cooked up some turkey thighs they put on sale. So I had one of those in the air fryer because my oven's down. I got to get fixed. And I had like a half a bag of Brussels sprouts. I thought I was going to throw up. So that was a lot for me. I eat like probably 6 times a day, but it's all like really small meals. So, yeah. Of course, I'm on that shot too, so that has a lot to do with it. Helps a lot. But you are full. Quick. Okay, now this blue doesn't like it. I think it's time to throw some paint, so let's throw this one out. That one's done. I'm trying to use all these paints that are on this rack. I think this one's done. And then I took all the new ones and I put them in my case over here. Gotta use them up before I start some new ones. I got so much paint. I get a notification from the paint company. Where you been? We haven't ordered in a while. Here's a coupon. And yep. This is a pretty blue. We'll use this one. That's funny. I want some, like a darker purple, so I'm gonna mix a blue with it. Just a blue, any kind of blue. So I got this blue right here. Stormy. Stormy. Sure. You don't really love me. You just want my money. All right, so I just darken this up just a tad. More purpley, a little white maybe. It's a little see-through. And I'm just gonna let's put a few flowers in. Just gonna kind of blot in some color and get my palette knife out. I want a pointy one. This is my broken pointy one. It's my favorite one. Look at this poor sad looking thing. It's all crooked and bangled and mangled. Oh, I gotta tell you, Lori, I couldn't find that video. I think I forgot to save it, but I did get that. I did get that palette knife, that little palette knife I was telling you about. I'm gonna use it too. I'm using it. They had it in different colors. I got the pink. Yeah, I thought the handle was a little smaller, but that's the shape I liked. But this is what she was using. I got a couple other big ones, but that one's the biggest one I got now. I got this one. No, I didn't hear this wrong. Where is it? I got some bigger ones. Well, here's that one. This is that guy we like. And then I got this one. So I got a few big ones. But that's going to be the biggest one. I'm going to do a big paint, and I'm using it. Big paint. I want to do, I told you, I want to do, I'm going to do some shows again, so I need to do some big paintings. Big paintings. All right, so I'm going to start making something that looks close to a flower here. You can get away with a lot when you're using a palette knife. You can make your own flowers. Just create them, make any kind of design you want. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just going to make something that looks close to a violet. Actually, you know, I have a shamrock out in the front room. I should bring it out. I actually bought it at Wegmans. It was a little pot. It was beautiful, nice and even. Well, it started dying off. So I thought it was about had it, and I was going to throw it away. Well, now it's like this big. It doesn't have many things on it, but it keeps getting white flowers. And every time it gets white flowers, I start having baby shamrocks in my other pots. I'll have to show it to you guys. I'll show it to you guys. So it keeps having babies in my pots. And then next, like 3 days later, I get this huge shamrock. And the shamrocks are like that big. And the original plant is in a different pot now because it kept having babies and finally ended up in this one pot that has something else in it. So that's where it's staying. Every now and then I see those white flowers. I'm like, oh, I better move that. I'll have babies over here. Funny, right? Yep. So cute. But it doesn't even look like the original plant because it's probably like grown in a hothouse, you know. is the ugly stage. You've never seen me do this before. You probably won't even know what's going on. I'm going to move this one. I got that bunny on the other side. I'm working on a bunny. Starting to work on my Easter and summer stuff. It's that time of the year, guys. Do you believe it? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Thank God. I was beginning to wonder. I was beginning to wonder. We had the most stops. I think, as last time I knew, we had the most snow in the state. Well, I think there's a couple other places, but they weren't in a contest. We have a contest for a Golden Snowball Award. We had 119 inches. Is that ridiculous or what? It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's more normal for us. For 5 years, it was, we thought, global warming. It was so nice here. We had a couple of winters where we had no snow on Christmas. That never happens. And we had like 60-degree days. We kept having snow melts, which we usually don't get till like February and March. We're down in like a valley kind of, and snowstorms and rain get stuck right at the top of it. My mother lives with her house, my sister's house now, what they call the valley, and it's really just gets stuck there. So we have a lot of snow, we had a lot of rain, and that's the way it always was. And then for some reason, the last 5 years, up until last year, there was like hardly any snow, you know? But the rain, we'd rain and rain and rain. So it's like we gave up one thing. Then we had a couple really, we're not used to the heat, the hot summers. So now I think it's going to be another hot summer. So I'm going to put some light ones in here now. So it's back to normal, really. People are complaining. The news guys like, you know, guys, this is how our winter was until the last 5 years. So I don't know. Crazy, right? Maybe I'll take this blue. I don't like the purple. I'm going to do the white, see what happens. Do little circle ones. I can put little highlights in them too. Put some little highlights in them. Take this green. I'll mix this green and this light blue. What is it? It's called Bluegrass Green, which is a really pretty green. I'm going to kind of come in here and kind of do some messy stuff. I'm not using no thickener in this, I'm just doing it. Some of these colors are up there in the bottom. Kind of a shelf there. Need a round one. Just turn everything because my hand don't go that way. No, it's just this one hand I'm having problems with. It's my thumb. So I didn't want to make, I had so many other doctor's appointments, I didn't want to make another one. I have about every 6 months I see my regular one. So I will give her my list of things. I think I need to lower my blood pressure medication. And my weight, I'm going down pretty good, so I'm sure she'll be happy about that. And I don't know, just got things we got to go over, so. Yeah. A little yellow in here too. I want a little yellow in here too, so I'm going to kind of start adding some color here. Should have put more green in this background. I might come in and take a small round brush. Just kind of add some background to this by kind of going in a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do these greens, a little bit of green in here. I kind of let it dry and add some white colors over the top. I just need a little background in here. There'd be some windows shining through too, so I think I can do some purple in there too. Just want to fill this in a little bit. Yeah. I actually had a bigger shamrock right here too. Just a big one right here. Let's make this one a little bigger too. I'll put some right here too. Some down here too. What we got on here? It is. I told you it's for cakes and painting. She was doing, you can use anything you want. I tell you guys that all the time. If you haven't got a fancy palette knife, you can use anything. The one guy I told you about out of Australia, he uses the same stuff you put cement on with. He gets them at the hardware store. You know, cake spatulas. You know, our guy that does, who's that guy we like with thick paint? A lot of the stuff he's doing, he uses the bag, so it looks like cake frosting. So why not, right? Whatever you got will work. Round. Interesting, huh? A little darkness in here. I took and I highlighted some of these with white too. A little bit of white on these. I think I need my round one. Wait a minute. I need my round one. I'll have it in here. So fun. Yeah, the world is a mess. Guys know I've had a lot of stuff happen over the last few years, you know. So you say, oh, what's God got to do with it? God wouldn't do that to you. But you know something? I don't really think it was God. I think it was that guy that does all the bad things, the devil. I think he tests some of us to see how far what we can handle. You know, doesn't that sound crazy? But I think it's true. Whether you believe in God or not, I think whatever it is, karma, whatever it is, I think you're always being tested. sometimes you don't win, but you figure it out, you get through it. And then they say, oh, you know, there was a God, and you get mad at God and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get into all that stuff, but sometimes I think, you know, I think whoever it is, it's like they're testing you. I think it had nothing to do with it. I think he's there when you need him, but you're not being tested by him. I think you're getting tested by the other guy, and I think he only picks on the people that probably are good and believe in him, and you know what I mean? You got to test the other ones. They're done. They're already bad. You know what I'm saying? The rest of us have been tempted. We make bad choices sometimes, but you know, if you don't let him take over, well, he's going to keep testing you, you know? I think I'm onto something. That's what I think. Crazy, right? I think it's true. All right. This is looking different, but I'm thinking I'm liking this good. This is cool. It's pretty interesting. I love to just sit and create. Just sit and create. I love it. Sometimes I think my better paintings are when I just don't plan it too much. You know, if I over plan, I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't seem to come out as good. So I tell you guys, just sit down and do it. I also tell you that when you're not feeling good, that's when you should be doing it. I was talking to Jamie about it. You know, think about it. She thinks I ought to do a headline about it or something. I don't know what she was talking about, but I think sometimes my work is better when I'm at my work. So look at some of the most famous artists. You know, Van Gogh cut his ear off. I mean, they get, some of the artists I have known, they are just like, get themselves all worked up, depressed, you know. So I think there's something to be said for just sitting down, and it gets your mind off your problems. But I think some of the best work I've done has been when I'm not feeling so great. You know, when life's been kind of sucky. That's when you really should be like messing around with your paints and stuff, you know. Anybody agree with me? I think it's true. Yeah, gaffer. Yeah, I went out and bought all the stuff, and I never used it. I still have the frosting bags I bought from someplace else, but he sells all that stuff now too. So I like him. He's a nice guy. Got his kids doing it now too. His daughter and his son. I haven't bought anything in a while. I haven't been over there. I've been busy. Facebook, good old Facebook. Hold on, I'm going to turn this back around. Really bright. Really bright. How bright it is. Okay, let me take my brush and fix a few things up. Yeah, I had to wash my brushes. Oh my God, they were bad. Trying to clean some of the bottom parts. I just, how am I to get all the paint on them like that? This is a newer one. I already got it half painted up. I like these Deco Art brushes. So, I just bought a bunch of brushes too. You guys are probably going to get some in your Happy Meal. Some good ones. Which I'm getting to. I haven't gotten to that yet. I mean, this weekend, it's like I said, I got to finish this housework stuff. I had to put all, I still finally got all my art stuff put away. I'm not sure. I need to have like art stuff. I need to have like a place for all my paint party stuff. Just for that. I don't know, maybe by a cabinet or something. I'm not sure yet. I'll figure it out. I figured out. But these look more like Shamrocks here. I figured out. My granddaughter and my grandson moved in together. It's cheaper for both of them. And all she's been, well, I gotta be careful what I say, but she's been complaining. So, well, you're living with the man now. There you go. Just typical, I'm sure you guys could probably guess. Sure you could. Not that all men should be pigeonholed, but I'm sure you could guess. I just try not to crack up. She's throwing a fit about this thing and that thing, you know, clothes and all kinds of stuff. I just laugh. But lots of yellow one. So funny. So now you know. I mean, they grew up together, but you know, it's different, you know, when you're older. Well, they're not real old. I mean, they're what, 22 and 21, or they're around that age. I don't know. I can't keep track. I've been talking to my youngest one. She's 8 years old, and she's telling me about who do I like better. I can't even think of their names, but the one I heard of, but the other two I'd never heard of. So she just sent me a bunch of music I could listen to later. All these artists, I don't know who's cutest. So you like her dress? I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about, honey. I listen to old people music. So cute. And she's showing me her dog, and she wants me to take a picture of her dog and paint it for her and send it to her. So I can do that. They just got a new dog, puppy. Well, he's bigger now. He's a puppy, but he's big. And she's like in love with this dog. She's got a cat. I just listen. Yeah. They had a half day today, so she was bored. They had last week off. They live in Brooklyn, New York. They live in, oh, what's the name of that town? It's in Brooklyn. I never remember the name of it. Put some white ones in here, too. I don't remember. Big city, Brooklyn. Adorable. All right, so now we got a lot of colors in here. I use the same colors. I'm using my brush and I'm using my palette knife. I do both. You can do that. The palette knife just gives it a little different look. You know, it gives a little different texture. Anytime you want to use something different to create some texture, anything you want to use is good. I'll put a little green light. Sometimes you want all the colors to be in the rest of the painting too. Just makes it look more cohesive. Because some of those reflections would be in these windows. They wouldn't necessarily be purple, but I wanted it purple. I put a little purple back here on the side here because there's supposed to be a window here too. I'll take that black and fix this up. A little darker over here because I think the light's coming this way. I can darken some inside sections up too. They'll make it look a little more cohesive with the pot. Just kind of put in some dots. I think I'm going to put some dots in the middle of these purple flowers too. Some more yellow ones, I think. And a few more purple ones. I'll take a picture when I'm done so you guys can see it. There should be a purple one right here. I'm going to change that up. exactly like the other one. It's nice. It's different, right? Different. More colors in here. One more color. So shiny that purple, isn't that pretty? You know, a type of composition or perspective composition is a lot of people do different shapes. I like triangle, so I'm going to bring this one side down a little bit more. So in other words, I like this shape. It's very common. I don't make them perfectly round, very rarely. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit more on this side. I just think it looks cool like that. It's just a type of shape. Let's see, I gotta get my books out again. I'm gonna do a few more serious lessons here. I got my plants all up because of the summer, so I pulled out some of the books this morning or last night, and I'm going to do a few more serious lessons with you guys. That one book I told you guys I use, what the heck's the name of it? It's a book that they use to teach art in most art colleges. Oh, I don't remember the name right now. Really good stuff, though. Interesting lessons in there. Things you probably never even thought of. Put some more greenery down in here like this. Just kind of bring it down a little bit. Just bring it down. I can't think of the name of it. The Artist's Way. You can get the books. They're actually on my Amazon store. The Artist's Way. It's books that teach all kinds of art techniques, taught her way. So there's a lot of little things you can do in there that teaches you different things from composition to whatever. But they use it in most like art colleges and stuff. So if you guys want to get the book, it's called The Artist's Way. There's several of them. I have the book on color and something else. I have to go look, but we'll get them out and go over there a little bit inside the garden palette too. So nothing complicated. It's pretty easy stuff. That's it when we get the lesson I was telling you guys the other night about. You do the upside down. We did an upside down Spider-Man, but you can do anything upside down. Just to teach you to follow the lines and not the subject. You do that last. As I tell you, sometimes when you're painting something, don't worry about the overall. Just paint what you see. If you see 7 dots, do the 7 dots. You see 4 flowers, do the 4 flowers. You see 4 centers, put the centers in it. And then everything starts to connect. Because I tell you guys, I just seen one of those puzzles. I should have grabbed it. Where did I see it at? It was online somewhere. It was like a Van Gogh painting, but every square was all messed up. And that's what happens. You start putting it together. Just paint what you see. And as you get better, you can start putting pieces in and everything starts coming together. But, you know, until you learn what those pieces are, it can get very confusing. But that drawing technique, taking something and flipping it upside down and just follow the lines where they go, don't think about if it's Spider-Man or not. And you flip it over, you're like, hey, you know, because you're just following the lines. You're just connecting all the dots. Interesting, right? See, so it's not like the other one. So I did more palette knife, a little sloppier. So this was a little neater. This would be good to teach because I could just take and make a template of it. But then I can do it my way and just make it all messy, sloppy, beautiful. I like messy, sloppy, beautiful. That's kind of my style. I'm impressionistic, right? So that's probably it for tonight, guys. And I will see you. I'll see you guys Saturday. It's this rain at 4 o'clock, and we're going to do another reading. Hopefully, I should have all your mail out by then. I found that book. There's some good ones in there. That guy is so funny. There's a couple good ones in there I think you guys are going to enjoy. And I know that I got, look at this right here. I went and I got my Easter stuff out. And my St. Patrick's Day summer stuff. So we're going to do some of these. There's some I never did from last year. You know, you just can't do it all. They give you that essential stencils. They give you so much. You think you get one thing, you got a whole sheet of crap, right? This one, that's not either. Which one? This one's 4th of July. St. Patrick's. Gotta do these while we can, right? Well, we did these last year. And I never did do the truck. But remember we did all the little guys? They're in there. We did like all these little guys with the houses and everything, these little guys. So I don't know if I'm going to do the house and do it like on a, in a village, I was thinking. And I still got more of the leprechauns in here too. I got leprechauns. So I was thinking like doing a house with like one of the leprechauns on a road or something. So that's one thing, one project. And then we got, you guys remember the tulips? We got the tulips. We got a birdhouse. What's this other thing I never did? It was so beautiful. I said, I'm going to do this sometime. But it's really not artwork, but it's just so beautiful. Where is it? It's like a bike. It's a huge stencil. If I can find it. Then we got the bunnies. Remember we made the house out of them? Or the round for my front door, which is going to go back up. This bunny right here. You guys remember this bunny? This big bunny. So there was a boy bunny and a girl bunny in every kit. And they had sent me a double kit because, remember they sent me a bunch of free stuff? And I don't know if they normally do that, but I'm thinking they wanted me to try these transfers. That's what I'm thinking. Then I got this stuff I got to do something with too. Now, if you go on there, they got this and they got Jesus ones this year. They're beautiful. Beautiful. I didn't order them because I got these. So they got, go on there. They're having a sale. Make sure you use my Diana's deals. They got a lot of new summer stuff. There's a couple things I am going to order. So if you see the classes and you ain't got them, well, you can still order them. But I'll tell you something. I went on the other day, and then when I got these ones, they were sold out. A lot of stuff. These are one of the new releases. This one with the wheelbarrow and the it's got a, it has a wheelbarrow and a sewing machine. If you can see that. They're beautiful. So they had already sold out a couple other things they wanted. So get on there early and get the deals, get the extra 10% off. So they're having a 30% off, so that's 40% off. But they're really, really nice. I've used them over and over again. So anyways, whatever. So I will see you guys Saturday at 4 o'clock. I hope some new people come on over. Everybody that's new, come on here, like, share. Make sure you put hashtag rewatch so I know what people like. That's how I keep track. And I hope you sign up for some of my classes. They're all free. Most of them online are free. And I will see you guys Saturday. So have a great afternoon, guys, or have a great night. And I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. And make art, guys. Make lots and lots of art. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.